Yo, what's going on, you guys, and welcome back to the Anime Plus podcast. This is your podcast for everything anime and anime related. And today's episode is another news edition episode where we're going to be going over some anime news, some manga, webtoons in this episode, and a couple other cool things. But if this is your first time here, I'm your boy Aray, and I'm with my co-host Own. Own, bro, Memorial Day weekend, bro. How we doing, man?
Doing good, bro. I just came back from eating a shit ton of food.
Hey, that's what's up.
I had the most like tender lamb ever, bro. That shit literally fell off the bone. Had that with some rice. Had some Yemeni coffee with
Okay.
with some banana bread. So that was also
hmm
fire. Um, and yeah, saw an old friend that I didn't see in a minute. So had a good day.
That's what's up, bro. That's just today, bro.
That was all just today.
Uh, appreciate the invite. Nah, I'm playing.
But you told me about your weekend, bro.
Bro, so we went to Anime Boston, Yeah, I knew you couldn't make it, bro, but it's all good. I took my brother, took my wife, and, we had a good time, bro. It was fun. And then we ate like fat shits the rest of the weekend, so good times.
Literally me too, bro. I feel like it was just that just needs to be done Memorial Day weekend. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a must. But yeah, let's get right into it.
All right. So as always, we're gonna start off with a fun and kind of random story for today. So the creator of Blue Exorcist created his own fan art, and the fan art he did is of the series Moana 2 or Moana 2. All right, first of all, how do you say? Do you say Moana or Mona?
I honestly have no clue.
Okay, I'm finna get canceled because I never watched it, and I know there's a way to say it, and whatever, bro. But either way,
I
it's
think
kind
Mona is fine. I think
of
I've
Mona.
never seen it. I'm the same thing as you, but I think Mona is it.
Yeah, I gotta ask my wife because she always corrects me. I always forgot to say it, but. Yeah, let's get back to the thing. So long story short, bro, I think it's kind of cool that like we're getting a mangaka creating fan art of a Disney series. I think it's pretty cool.
Nah, it looks sick. Seeing like we always see this very cartoony and animated,
hmm
but uh, in the anime version, bro, the dude looks sick. He looks very badass instead of like cuddly and cute, whatever.
Yeah.
He looks like he's ready to slice
Yeah,
and dice.
he's holding like that, like a scythe or something, bro.
His hair is flowing. Dude just looks like he's ready on go. Animations look sick. Like
Yeah.
the drawing itself looks sick. Um, but yeah, it's good to get it like reversed. You know, we usually
hmm
see like Disney stuff like we usually see a reverse. We don't usually see Disney being animated into like anime like this. Where like
Yeah.
where like a an artist will come in and do a fan art of a Disney. Instead, it's usually like fan art of anime.
Right, right. And on top of that, it's kind of cool just to see two different worlds collide. I think that's one of the coolest things that came out of this.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
All right, so over the weekend we had the Crunchyroll Anime Awards of 2025. We're not going to get into every single winner because we're actually going to do an episode that comes out on Thursday where we go over every single category and every single winner. But should we go over just the Anime of the Year winner, or should we just skip that totally?
Um. Let's hit it. Let's see it.
All right, so Anime of the Year. Do you have any predictions?
Anime of the year. Of 2020. Like, is it the 2024 season or 2025
Yeah,
season?
so it's 2024.
Okay, so I mean, Solo Leveling is my pick.
Yeah, that's the winner of 2024 Anime of the Year or 20. So they call it 2025, but it's for the year of 2024. But yeah, Solo Leveling won.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, Solo Leveling the was just it blew. First of all, it blew the charts. It was just peak, bro. And this is the first season we're talking about, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the first season was one of the best first seasons I've ever seen. Um, Concept of solo leveling itself is insane, and it's something that we addressed in previous podcasts. Is like this anime was kind of like AOT, kind of like you could say like Demon Slayer or like JJK, where people are talking about it week to week. You know, every
hmm
week you can go in and like you could like I was having so many random conversations like about solo leveling and people getting into it. My cousin actually just got it. I just got into it like a couple weeks ago. So yeah, it's like it's like you know how AOT brought up a lot of people into anime. I think this
Yeah.
kind of did that too. To a
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, I've heard a lot of people talking about it. I see it all over the place, but we'll talk about it more later on when we do our episode on the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. But shout outs to Solo Leveling for winning.
hell yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. All right. Next up, we have some sad news for One Punch Man. So firstly, luckily for us, this is not for the anime. This is for manga readers only. The manga is taking a 2 month break, and it's due to various circumstances. We haven't really figured out what that means yet. They haven't really let us know. It could be anything from health to just like production issues, whatever. But 2 months is pretty big. But at the very least, it's not the anime, which we've been waiting for years and years now, and that's still scheduled to come out in October. So we're good there on the anime side of things. It's just the manga.
Damn, bro, I'm curious to know what these various circumstances are. I hope it's not like the mangaka getting like sick or whatnot, to be
Yeah.
honest.
It sucks because for a lot of the times they don't really give us a lot of insight into why we get a break. And usually if it's a 1 week break, they don't really always do it and they don't necessarily need to. It's like smaller things, like a birthday, being sick for 1 week, whatever. But a 2 month break is pretty big, so I'm hoping for the best.
Does the manga just run week by week forever, like One Piece?
I believe so. I know One Punch Man itself has had some breaks in the past, but I don't follow the manga on this one, so I can't be too sure about some of these hiatuses.
Nice. Okay. I mean, hopefully it doesn't get delayed any further. I mean, sometimes shit happens,
Yeah,
right? And hopefully everything goes for the best. Obviously not a good moment for One Punch Man fans, but at least the anime is still going for those viewers.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, I mean, there's a shit ton of manga out, so definitely open your horizons, and we'll be back soon. 2 months isn't too long.
yeah, yeah. You're right. All right, let's move on to the next one. So one more hiatus that we got to talk about for a manga, RuriDragon this time around is coming to another hiatus. It's quoted as a short break, but it's going to be back in July, which is about a month. It's a month out now. Not we don't know exactly when in July, but it's not too bad. So one quick note on this one, Owen. This one went on a huge hiatus in 2022, and then it finally came back. So like it was like a 2, 3 year one, and that was because of a sudden illness. So.
Ah, damn, bro. Those are the worst. The subtle illness ones. Like,
Mhm.
nothing that can really be done about the situations. But have you delved into this anime at all?
So Ruri Dragon, I have not, but in the few weeks that it was out before the first initial hiatus, it was so popular. I remember seeing it broke a couple of like records. I couldn't tell you exactly what those are off the top of my head, but it was something like viewership on the first few chapters, something along the lines of that. But it was really popular with a lot of different people. But again, it went into hiatus like after like almost like 10 chapters only. And then it came back and then, it's on hiatus again.
Damn, bro. Hopefully, it's not a sickness again or anything
Yeah.
like that. Because I mean, if that's the initial reason for the hiatus, I mean that could be the reason for this hiatus too. So hopefully
Mhm.
everything comes, hopefully it comes back quick and nothing else gets delayed. Just like
Yeah.
just like One Punch Man.
Right, right. I mean, at the very least, July isn't too terrible. It's about a month. So hopefully it might be something like research purposes or a vacation, something like that. Who knows?
Hopefully it's just vacation.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Facts, bro. But yeah, always praying for the health and security of these mangakas. Um, they provide us, great content, great entertainment, and for some people, it's more than that. So, it's sad to see stuff like this happen.
All right, let's move on to the next one. All
Yep.
right. So we got some more cheerful news here. We gotta get things going in the right direction here. So Universal Studios in Japan is highlighting some new attractions. Of those are going to be some anime series. So we got Spy Fam and Apothecary Diaries.
Bye, Pam. You a Spy fan? Damn.
Yeah. So, do you know, all right, have you ever been to like a Universal Studios before?
So we're getting anime in Universal Studios. That's kind of sick, right?
Okay, let me backtrack this. This is in Japan. So they've been had some animated
Oh, okay.
already.
I'm thinking of Florida right now. Okay.
I don't know if the one in Florida is. Yo, as a kid, bro, like going to Disney and all that was so unattainable that I've never actually thought about going to one of these theme parks before.
Facts, bro. Me too. I've never been to Universal or Disney or whatever.
Hmm.
Low key, yo, we might have to stop by when we go to Japan, bro.
Bro, type shit, bro. Honestly, bro. Uh, for these specific attractions, they're gonna be running from July 1st to January 4th of 2026. So if we end up going this year, we could go. I don't know if we're gonna go this year, but
That would be sick, bro.
yeah. And
But
it's really
I want to see how they kind of implement this into the rides and how that works. That'd be kind of sick.
yeah, so this is supposed to be a one of them, the Spy Fam one is supposed to be a story ride, and then they're also gonna get an XR ride. I didn't know what that meant. Like, we have VR. I don't know what an
Yeah.
XR is.
What is what?
XR.
XR. I've heard of AR.
Yeah, I've heard of AR, heard of VR, but what's XR?
Yeah, that I don't know. That's a whole nother concept. What is XR, bro?
I just Googled it. Ready? It
Yeah.
stands for extended reality.
Extended reality?
Yeah, so it's an umbrella term that encompasses various immersive technologies. So that's all VR, AR, and MR, which is mixed reality.
Damn, bro.
Damn,
That's
bro.
kind of crazy. I want to see how that works, bro. To be honest.
Shit, bro. That's kind of sick, bro.
I've seen AR. I've definitely seen VR, but that's the next wave, bro.
Damn, bro. We might have to go, bro. Shit. I was Googling a little bit more about Universal Studios in Japan, and they've got like One Piece rides. They got all these different types of.
Damn. Do they
Yeah.
got you like walking around and shit?
I don't know. I didn't look too deep into it because again, it was one of those things that like I was like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to go, but bro, we old now, bro. We might have to go next year type shit.
We might have to, bro. And it's this is like the more adult version of um. This is kind of like the more adult version of Disney, you know?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Damn, bro. All right, bro. We'll keep that in the books, bro. We might have to do it.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yup.
All right, speaking of anime coming to theme parks and such, we got a Pokemon fossil exhibition. This time around, it's coming to Chicago in May of 2026.
Fossil exhibition? What?
Dude, so I don't know exactly how this works, but supposedly there's going to be fossils of Pokemon like Omastar and Aerodactyl, and they're having a real life fossil exhibition in real life museums.
Does that not defeat the purpose of a museum?
That's a good point, bro.
Right? Fuck?
I don't know, bro. That's a good point. Like it's I don't know, man. I don't know how this is supposed to
People go to
work.
museums for factual knowledge. Brother, like what's going on here?
Right? They're just gonna chop up some random fossils and be like, "Yo, these are Pokemon." That's a good point. I thought that was pretty cool, but now that you mentioned it that way, I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Like, isn't the whole thing the integrity of it being real? Like, if there is like a maybe it's a kids area, a play area type thing.
Hmm.
Maybe that's like the thing. It's like a play area or like a separate part. They'd have to be a separate part. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to just kind of seeing some videos on this. I don't know. I probably wouldn't travel out to look at this, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely curious.
Like I came out to see some fossils. Turns out the only thing I saw was like Pokemon fossils. Like, well, what? I mean, I love that, but that's that's not what I love that, but I don't go to museums. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
There's a reason I don't go to museums.
right, bro. I don't know what to think about this. You know what? Like Ross from Friends?
Yeah.
I wonder what he would think about this because it's like again, it goes back to the integrity of bringing back past knowledge and all that bullshit into like real life. And then you got, obviously one of the biggest franchises bringing forward something like this. It's a cool collab in theory, but like you said before, it's very counterintuitive. It's counter whatever that word is. You know what I'm saying?
Counterintuitive. Yeah.
Type
Makes
shit.
no sense. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Actually, what the fuck is going on here? But as somebody that loves Pokemon, I don't mind it. Nope.
Type shit, bro. Let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
All right, so just to touch up on some more Pokemon news. So we've been keeping you guys up to date with this. Pokemon Horizons is the new anime series of Pokemon, obviously without Ash. It's been kind of airing on Netflix every couple of months. They have like a new part. So this is part three. It's officially coming on June 27th. So they've had three parts now. I believe the first one came out on February 7th. The second part came out on April 25th, and now the third part is coming June 27th.
Bro, how do you feel with Ash out of Pokemon?
For me, at the very least, bro, it's like, nah, I don't really care, bro. Like, I don't see myself watching this, and like, no matter what they do, it's kind of like whatever. But also at the same time, I think it's kind of cool because, like, if you're a young kid and you're just picking up the series, like if you're like 5 or 7, you know what I mean, and you're picking it up, you can start with a fresh new main character, and then maybe they'll be able to like create their own memories with this specific main character.
True, but I don't know. Ash was like a major part of the show
Yeah.
since day one, you know?
Yeah.
Um, for people like us, in terms like let's say we were to watch it, right? Let's say we were watching it. I
Yeah.
think it would be weird. Obviously, I'm not gonna watch it, so it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah.
Or like it doesn't affect us because we're not watching it. But I would say if I was trying to watch it, it would be a bit weird without having Ash there.
Yeah, no, 100%, I agree. But at the same time, it's kind of cool that they gave us a closure of Ash's story, and it's
Oh
not.
yeah, what happened with Ash's end story?
Oh, he ended up becoming the Pokemon Master or a Pokemon Master.
Oh shit. Okay, I need to watch that.
Yeah, me too. I actually have not watched it. I just seen a bunch of clips.
Yeah, I do not know how that works. So
Yeah.
I want to see. What does he beat the Elite Four? How does that work?
Well, we gotta find out, bro.
Damn, brother. I mean, yo, this they got shiny Rayquaza in here.
That's what I say. Like they're R farming with like some of the things. Like you see Entei is in the back, bro. Back in our day,
Yeah,
that's
facts.
fun.
Facts. Why is Entei there?
That's what I say. Like Entei in the back. We got Charizard in the back. The main thing we see is like a shiny black Rayquaza, bro. Like how is that? Like how is it even possible, bro?
All I know is I'm trying to see a shiny black Rayquaza. So if that's what they're doing, do more of
Facts.
it.
Facts. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
All right, so we got an update on Bluelock, not the series Bluelock, but the spin-off episode Nagi. So obviously, episode Nagi had that movie that came out. It's had a couple manga volumes come out. We got some news that the eighth volume is the last volume of the spin-off, and it's coming to an end on August of this year.
So episode Nagi, I thought that was a movie.
It was a movie, but it was based off of the manga.
Okay.
So the manga spin-off series.
So wait, is it a spin-off series or is it just a movie?
It's a spin-off series that inspired a movie.
Oh, okay. Okay, I need to watch both then.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, bro. So how many episodes is episode Nagi?
So it's just called episode Nagi. It's not an episode, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
but it's 8 volumes, which usually there's like anywhere from 8 to 13 chapters in a volume. So
Oh, so it's only manga, it's not anime.
yeah,
Okay. But episode Nagi is a movie though.
exactly. Yeah, and it probably covered like a chunk of the manga.
Okay, now I understand what you're saying. Yeah, okay. I
It
mean, I
gets
definitely gotta watch that movie for sure.
it gets kind of confusing when you like think about it. It's like, oh, it's a spin-off, but the spin-off got a movie, but the manga is not done yet. It's ending in August. So how much did that movie cover? You know what I mean? It gets a little confusing.
No, I thought when you said spin-off, I thought it was a spin-off anime series.
Nah, nah, nah.
But now I understand what like how it's all connecting. But yeah,
Yeah.
Nagi is one of the most OP characters in the shit.
Hmm.
This this art looks amazing with the skull in the back.
Yeah.
He's always just been deadly like that, you know? So I kind of do want to see how that works.
This goes back to your theory. If you have a white hair and you're a white hair anime character, you're a badass. It's you know what I mean?
Always, it's a GG. Like white haired anime, and and usually they're not like super tall.
Yeah, they're deadly though. They don't matter how they come, they're deadly. Yeah, you're right. A lot of them are smaller though.
They're like short or like average height. They're never like giants or tall. They're just
Damn.
super strong for no reason. Super badass for no reason. But
Facts.
but yeah, I mean, if you're an anime watcher for Blue Lock, definitely, tune into episode Nagi because um Nagi's a badass. Blue Lock is fire, and why would you not? Huh?
All right, let's move on to the next one. We have a couple of Webtoon industry stories developing. So firstly, and I know we're not going to go too much into the depth of this because it's a lot of business stuff, and we don't really care too much about this stuff, but we still will. So Webtoons had their annual report. They had some earnings reports, and part of that they actually just reported an operating loss of $26 million in the first quarter of 2025. And while that sounds bad, they did note that they had a strong performance in advertising and IP adaptation. So part of that IP adaptations would be Soul Leveling and some other Webtoon anime adaptations. So that's one small note to kind of look at when you're considering like, oh, yeah, it looks like Webtoons is losing money, but like their anime productions are actually going up. So it's kind of like a small little nice Easter egg to find in this negative earnings report. And then just kind of a smaller note, the webtoons kind of blamed it on the weakening of the Korean won and the Japanese yen. So maybe there was
Oh,
that, yeah.
like sometimes you need to lose money to make some money, right?
Type shit, bro. But yeah,
But
I
glad
just
that Webtoon is getting, out there and people are like essentially watching Korean, right? This is Korean stuff.
hmm
Yeah. I mean, Solo Leveling was just gas. Just
yeah.
that alone has just brought so much viewers to Webtoons. So hell yeah.
Yeah, and as a side note, they did say that they revamped the app, and which we'll talk about in the next article. And part of that revamp, it boosted monthly active users by 19%, which is exactly what you're looking for. Like you want higher growth. So the numbers are low, but the overall numbers are actually that bad. They're actually pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. That's fire.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
All right, so part of that revamp that they did in the app, they added AI-powered personalized recommendations to analyze user onboarding preferences, reading history, and preferred art styles. They added a new and hot tab uh, that includes short trailer-style preview videos for new releases and trending titles. They also added the ability to unlock the entire series at once for select completed titles. And then they added a bunch of other small little things. But those are just some of the updates that they added to the Webtoons app. And of course, that's going to help a lot of people that do read the manga or Webtoons on the Webtoon app.
I mean, like making that better is always it's always a great sign. And I mean, as more people join, um, they're gonna be able to enjoy a really nice and polished app. So that's great to hear.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
All right, so we got a nice little collab here, and I feel like this is a pretty obvious collab that I haven't really thought of, but it just works out so perfectly. So what we got was Transformers is collabing with Evangelion.
Evangelion is a mecha anime.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit, bro! It's kind of sick.
Yeah, this is the second time they've done it, and this is kind of celebrate Evangelion's 30th anniversary. But bro, when you think about it, mecha anime and Transformers, that's like the perfect collaboration that I kind of never thought of.
I mean, it low key works so well.
Hmm.
Yeah, it just works so well that like, why not? You know?
Exactly, yeah. So what they're doing is they're just creating some toys, Transformer and Evangelion toys. I've never been a big fan of either series. Like, not that I don't like it, just that I never really watch either one of them. But nonetheless, bro, the collab goes hard, bro.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of like mecha anime, but like um seeing these two worlds collide like that is it's kind of sick.
Facts. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
All right, so we got this random joint venture between a bunch of different companies. So what we got is we get WIT Studio, Contrail, and Production I.G. They are all going to animate a different one-shot manga from Shonen Jump Plus as a celebration to their 10th anniversary. So think about this. Three different animation studios are each animating one different one-shot manga. So
Okay. For
it's
all the people that don't know what a one-shot manga is, what is
yeah.
one-shot manga?
A one-shot manga is kind of like a small story that's just it's called a one-shot because it's not like a continuing story like Kaiju number 8 or One Piece and so on. It's kind of like it could be maybe 50 pages, it could be 20 pages, and that's the entire story. It could so when it gets adapted, it might be just an episode, it might be a movie, and sometimes it could be like a small little series. So I'll give you an example. Monster by I think it's called Monster. The one that Oda did, where it's Zoro's ancestor.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's a one shot.
Get you. Okay. So they're basically having a competition on a one-shot manga. That's kind of sick.
Yeah, three huge, huge production studios. Oh, I'll say two of them are really big. The other one I don't really know too much about, but three different series, bro, or three different one shots. It's gonna be fire, bro.
I mean, it's gonna be sick, and I mean, we love competition, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it because you never know. Sometimes there's hidden gems that are just they're one shots and no one really cares too much about them because they're the one shots, but it might kind of evolve into a series later on. Like that's happened to a lot of different mangas before.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, definitely hoping for that for this, for sure.
yeah.
Who do you think is gonna come out on top?
I guess it really depends on the series because you could say like in my opinion, WIT Studio or even Production IG are the two bigger animation studios. So maybe their animation will be better, but maybe the story that Contrail picks is better. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
All right, so we got some One Piece news here. Nothing too crazy old. I know, bro. I know. I wanted to hype you up a little bit, but what we got here is Tony Chopper is he's collabing with the real world basically.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
All right, so there is this new manga or sorry, there's this new project. It's called I think it's just called Chopper. And basically what they're doing is they're putting Chopper in real life. So here's some Instagram pictures and you can see Chopper just chilling in real life.
They just threw him in the real world, bro?
They just gotta Photoshop Chibi Chopper in real life, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, Chopper would not last in this world.
You think we get cooked?
Someone picking him up off the street if they see his ass.
I think it's kind of cool though, because they made it like Chopper have his own Instagram. Like you can see this picture right here. He's
No
like,
way.
yeah.
I'm dead, bro. Chopper getting old as bro. I'm dead. But him in that little city street looks kind of sick.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It's so random and it's not like anyone would go crazy over this, but I think it's just like a nice little thing that they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I mean it's sick. I feel like nobody else kind of does stuff like this, you know?
Facts. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
All right, bro. This is something that I didn't see at all happening, bro, but we're getting a Clash of Clans, a Clash of Clans TV series. It's going to be an animated project done by Netflix,
Okay, that is kind of crazy.
right?
Like, what the fuck? A whole TV series? That's
We
kind of
had some short projects before. Like I've seen they posted a bunch of I don't know, they were like Facebook videos or something like that way back in the day, YouTube videos. But
yeah.
like now they're making a full series. Like I don't know, I don't think it's gonna be like an anime series. I think it's just gonna be animated. But it's just so random because we're at a point where Clash of Clans was dying off. Like people weren't really playing at the same rate they were back in the day. So it feels a little bit too late, but who knows? Maybe it can bring people back in.
Did you expect? I remember you saying that you thought of something like this before, or that
Like a
you,
Clash of Clans anime?
yeah.
Well, they had a series like a YouTube series or whatever it was back in the day. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But like I didn't think they would have a full series and nonetheless, like it's by Netflix or it's gonna be on Netflix. So it's probably gonna have a decent sized budget to it.
I mean, that's kind of sick, bro. I don't know shit about Clash of Clans, so I can't really say anything about it. But
Mhm.
I would definitely like to see what the hype's about.
Yeah, no, it might be something I just watch for fun, but I would hope that it would be like a shorter video type of thing. Like I don't know if I want to watch like a 30-minute episode of it, like 10 30-minute episodes. I would do like 10 5-minute episodes, but I don't know if I would do that per
Yeah,
se.
I get you.
But yeah, they're still in pre-production. There's no set release yet, but y'all already know. Stay tuned and we'll keep providing updates on this.
I mean, it's kind of sick that this is even happening, to be honest. Like, imagine like a Temple Run game, like movie. Like, we understand why this is all happening.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be kind of sick.
I think we're in an age where there's just so much content and people are really making like content on anything nowadays. And it's weird. Like we talk about this all the time on bro, where it's just like it's either mass production or with like lower quality or like would you rather have that or like higher production with less shows? I don't know, bro. I feel like it just always goes back to that.
I think this is a cool concept. Let's see how it does, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one. Wait, actually, before we do, remember they had an Angry Bird series?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a pretty direct correlation like when it comes gaming to
Mhm.
movie. I mean, it's sick. I'm a pretty big gamer. Never played Clash of Clans though. Not really a big mobile gamer, but
I feel you.
it's like a lot of a lot of kids that grew up on the game are probably, like the Minecraft movie per se.
Right, right, right. Exactly. Yeah.
It kind of brings life to the game itself. Yeah.
Hmm. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on to the last and final story today.
Yep.
All right, so we got a new TV anime adaptation of this series. It's called, all right, you ready for this one?
Yeah.
It's called Otherworldly Munchkin. Let's speed run the dungeon with only 1 HP.
What the fuck? What's wait, what's the beginning? Unearthly
Otherworldly
Munchkin?
Munchkin. Yeah.
What the fuck is an unearthly munchkin? Bro?
Bro, I'll read you the synopsis. You let me know what you think, okay?
Yeah.
16-year-old Yukito Kirihara lives with his 14-year-old sister Sana, who he treasures more than anyone else. But when an ogre shows up outside of his window looking for Sana, a shocking event in its own right, Yukito leaps to save her and is killed. He's offered the promise of reincarnation by a mysterious woman who gives him a character sheet in the mysterious book. But when Yukito sees Sana in there too, he sets off to find her and save them both, even if he only has 1 HP with which to do it.
Okay, what is this 1 HP shit, bro? Because like my man's is about to die.
Right? I don't know, man. Like I've watched a couple of isekai, and a lot of isekai have a very game-like system where, like, for example, Shangri-La, you get a certain amount of HP. And granted, Shangri-La is like a video game-based anime. It's just the first one I thought of. Like another one is Sword Art Online, where you have a specific amount of HP. So maybe the dude's like a one hit. You know what I mean? I don't really know, bro.
That
It's
would suck, bro. If you're one hit, that means he low key never gets hit or touched.
yeah, I guess not.
Can you scroll a bit down for
Yeah,
the characters? Have you ever played Smash? Do you know who's that? Robin? The character Robin that holds a book? Kind of
bro.
reminds me of, like the
I
blue.
know, bro. I played Smash when I was on Wii, bro. They added mad characters, bro.
Yeah, they no no they added a shit ton of characters. This was in the Wii U version. But that kind of looks like Robin. Yeah.
Okay.
That one kind of looks like that girl from Bleach.
Yeah, a little bit. What do you think of the character designs? You like them?
I think they're pretty generic, but they're still fine.
Yeah.
Like
I
they're
don't
fine, but they're definitely pretty generic. I don't think it's anything, crazy.
Yeah, well, this one comes out in October, so we'll have to wait and see if this is the move.
Hell yeah.
All right, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Once again, we'll be doing the Crunchyroll Anime Awards in the next episode, which comes out on Thursday. So if you guys are wanted to know more about that, of course, stay tuned till Thursday. And if not, I will leave a link in the description. But yeah, y'all gotta check us out. But other than that, that's gonna be it for this episode. Once again, join our Discord link is in the description. We have some good fun conversations over there. We just kind of hang out. But with that being said, that's gonna be it for this episode. And until next time, hope you guys have a great week. Peace.
Peace.